everyone, my name is Molly. I play the viola and I am on a journey to becoming a better musician and happier person. I wanted to talk a little bit about what my practicing has been like the past few weeks. If you couldn't tell, I kind of like to reflect and reassess and start fresh each month. Now that the pandemic has lasted over a year, it's really hard to keep track of time realistically and track progress with things in the way we normally would do. And now that it's the beginning of May, it's time to check in and see how I'm doing. My semester ended on Friday, April 30th, and the activity level was kind of winding down for me personally during that whole last week, the week of the 26th. And something that started to happen to me right around the same time was my pointer finger on my right hand started to twitch uncontrollably, and I was like, oh, okay, I need to take a break from practicing. I think a lot of it was from holding my phone in my right hand and reaching all the way across the phone keyboard to text with just one thumb. The other thing is I hadn't been exercising at all. Since getting my first dose of the vaccine almost 2 months ago, I took it easy so that my arm could recover and I could keep practicing. But anyway, all that is to say, I had a lot of legitimate reasons for winding down the intensity of my practicing. Maybe someone out there can relate, taking a break feels good, but it feels pretty crappy knowing that I haven't been productive or working hard. A core element of my identity, at least from my perspective, is working hard and being ambitious. I think something that is surprising but common that pairs with ambitious people is procrastination and lack of motivation. I've been thinking about this so much over the past year because I care a lot about doing well and doing my best and being recognized for hard work and getting a lot of good results. And when you care a lot about something but you don't necessarily process all the fear or worry that goes along with caring so much, you end up procrastinating and avoiding the hard work. And it's not laziness. And I always have to tell myself it's not laziness. If you couldn't tell, I'm struggling right now because do I continue to take a break because I've been working so hard and I need a break? Or does my avoidant procrastination, fearful inner self who cares a lot about doing well but is scared to see what happens if I work as hard as I can and don't do well, does that side of me find any excuse to not practice? A part of me was relieved when my fingers started twitching because I was like, okay, this is a good thing. I can tell people, well, I can't practice as much because of this, and that'll get me off the hook. And I love playing viola. Why am I relieved when I can find a reason to not practice for a few days? And so I really just wanted to examine that because I have 3 weeks left in Houston before we leave and I don't have school. I just have to write one paper, but I have a bunch of free time that I can use however I want, and I don't want to get to the end of the 3 weeks and wish I had done something different. I don't want my choices of what I do with my time to be motivated by fear or negativity or procrastination. I just don't want that. I've gone through many phases since the pandemic started of working super hard and then not practicing. I've taken long stretches of time off from viola before. I remember the summer between my junior and senior year of undergrad, I did pretty much take a month off from playing. So I know one of my traits is going super hard or just not doing anything. I've never been naturally inclined toward a balance of both. And I don't want to discount that the periods of time in the past year where I've taken off from practicing for 1 to 4 weeks at a time, I don't want to discount the value that they had in helping me to reshape my perspective of who I am and what I care about and who I want to be as a musician and what's important to me. The priorities I had and the emotions I had about practicing, it's just an unrecognizable person at this point. And I am really proud of that. For example, I've made a video about letting go of external validation. I've made a lot of strides in being my own supporter and my own critic and trusting myself to know when I've done a good job. I put less value in the flashy resume items like competitions and awards and stuff, and put more value in the skills that I want to build as a professional musician, and just kind of resetting my perspective to enjoy the actual music, because that's what my career will be composed of, is playing music. The pandemic has provided the perfect environment for those ebbs and flows of hard work and then reevaluation and self-growth and self-reflection, but I don't want that to be what it's like going forward for me. I get really exhausted and swept up in whatever I'm doing for a month at a time, and then all the energy just goes away and I can't get myself to keep working on it. The month of March, I was practicing so much for the competition that I did. Then after that, I just feel like I've been in a slump. Part of it, I think, is just because I was working in an unsustainable way. Another issue I have is not realizing how tired or exhausted I am until it hits me in the face. And so all that is to say, I want to be more balanced and intentional and deliberate, and I think ultimately it'll make me more productive and also more relaxed at the same time, rather than only productive for a month and then only relaxed for a month. So I did a little bit of research about lack of motivation. I couldn't find anything that really spoke to my experience, but I think most of my lack of motivation comes from just caring so much and being scared of not doing well. So one thing I want to work on is engaging in those scary things, like performing, auditioning at a much smaller scale more often. I've done things like that on Instagram before, where I commit to making 25 posts of me playing. And honestly, what it turns into is half the time I get my instrument out, play a random thing for 10 minutes until I can make an Instagram video that I like. And it actually doesn't reflect the heart of what I'm working on. It's like, oh crap, I said I would do 25 posts. Today's day 12. I have nothing to post. I didn't even want to practice today, but I have to post. So then I just kind of fake it. I'm not deciding on anything right now, but I want to find something that actually challenges me and puts this desire to not just face my fear, but also to encourage me and affirm that the things I'm afraid of, rejection, doing poorly, they're not actually as big of a deal as I'm making it out to be. But I don't want whatever that project turns out to be to take away from the diligent work I need to be doing on new repertoire I need to learn and improving my technique over the course of the summer before the fall semester. And this brings me to a discussion about routines. The idea of a morning routine is so unbelievably attractive to me. I love watching YouTube videos of people who get up at 6 a.m. and they go on a walk and they make really good breakfast and they're productive, and by noon they've already worked 3 or 4 hours. Even just watching my boyfriend Max play this game called Stardew Valley, where he has his own farm, and watching his character walk around outside at 7 a.m. I'm just like, I want that. I want to be a morning person. I want to like being a morning person. I want to wake up and just want to practice and want to engage with things that I know will make me happy and proud of myself. And I just don't wake up feeling that way. And I just always want to keep sleeping. I want to keep avoiding. When I finally do get out of bed, I'm moving at a slow pace. I want to find a routine that works for me. I don't think crafting a routine is going to be the thing that suddenly makes me want to do a bunch of stuff that I've never really felt like doing before. But I want to find something that I can get into a groove and know what's going to happen when I wake up. Because what I've read about routines is really big benefit is that so much of your mental space is just freed up because You're not worrying about what you're gonna do when you wake up. You already know the sequence of like 7 things you're gonna do when you wake up. So I need to address my sleep habits in order to be able to wake up in the morning, and I need to create a routine that I can actually stick to and feasibly accomplish, whether I'm feeling super energetic or super lethargic. Either way, I want it to be something that grounds me and that I can rely on myself to do. Because I've been thinking, like, do I even need a routine? Like, I am so resistant to consistency, especially long term, but I want it so badly. I want consistency so badly. And I want to take this time that I have during the month of May before I leave Houston, while I don't have any schoolwork to do, to really try and craft something that I can stick to. Because this summer I'm teaching and I'm coaching chamber music, and I'll have a busy schedule, and I'm really excited about all those things, but I don't want to let those get in the way of my personal goals for practicing and routine and sleeping enough. I really just want to be preemptive about my plan of action. I want to end each day without being upset that I procrastinated or wishing that I could have gotten to everything on my checklist. And I know part of that is being realistic and not putting too much on your checklist, but I definitely spend a lot of time putting things off. It just doesn't feel good, and I want to stop doing it to the best of my ability. I also have this idealized version of myself that practices 4 hours a day, and I can't let that unrealistic imagery infiltrate my actual practical plan of making my routine. Like, if it's actually going to be a routine, I can't have it be unrealistic, because I'm just not going to do it. Maybe you can sense that I feel like really torn, because I need a break because I work so hard, but I avoid hard work because I'm a procrastinator, and both exist in me at the same time, and it's so hard for me sometimes to differentiate which voice to go with. And 99% of the time, I just go with the, well, I won't practice. And like, I don't think that I'm working myself to the bone to the extent that I can take as many breaks as I have been taking. Because at the end of the day, like, a break in the moment feels good because you're not putting stress on yourself, but going to bed looking back on what I did and realizing, yeah, I said I was going to start practicing again today, but I didn't, is a bad feeling. There's no real conclusion to this video. I just wanted to air some of my thoughts out now that the semester's over. I'm going to have a lot more time, and I want it to be structured time, and I want to know that I'm planning it for the benefit of myself and for my happiness, and not some over-idealized version of myself that I could never be. So you will not see me waking up at 5 a.m. every day and doing an hour of yoga followed by 4 hours of practice and then having lunch, and then, you know, it's not going to be like that. But I do want to have a reasonable expectation for myself. I'm going to wake up at this time. I'm going to spend this amount of time getting ready. By lunchtime, I will have practiced this much, or practiced this piece, or done this exercise, like read blank amount of pages in a book, watched X amount of minutes on YouTube. I want to have it planned out. I want to have it be gentle and considerate to myself, but also encouraging and motivating. I'm going to figure it out. And you guys will see. Anyway, thank you guys so much for just giving me the space to verbally process my thoughts and what's been going on with me. My hope for this summer is that I can find a way to develop a routine and have balance of hard work and relaxation all in the same day, most days. That is my goal, and I think I can do it. I'm excited to see how it goes going forward. Please follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my journey to becoming a better musician and happier person. A few videos that I've posted over the past few months about this topic already, and if you want to hear me play, I have a lot of videos of performances of mine as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.